What up, what up, what up, YouTube Live? How's it going, everybody? Holy smokes. Just got done watching tonight's Game of Thrones Season 8, aka Final Season, Episode 5, all new Episode 5. They haven't revealed the title yet. Well, they usually do after the episode ends. But yeah, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So much to unpack. Just a heads up, this video contains spoilers, so I'll be spilling some spoilers here, giving you the context and my thoughts about said context. Okay, so what happens in tonight's episode? Well, Cersei meets her fate, but before we get to that, and before we discuss the Hound and all the good stuff, I want to start out by saying in the early part of this episode, you notice that Tyrion Lannister's um, influence on Daenerys Targaryen. That influence runs on thin ice, man. Hangs by a thread. Oh, Daenerys is so pissed, and I tweeted that that is some kind of a telephone line of secrets because John told Sansa, told Tyrion, told Varys, and of course, as you know from tonight's episode, it resulted in Varys getting executed by Daenerys. And that scene um, where Tyrion revealed to Daenerys that Varys has betrayed her, man, Daenerys, like, here's the testament to Emilia Clarke's acting, man. Just like last week when she witnessed Missandei getting, beheaded, that facial expression is just so rich. And you could tell from her reaction to Tyrion's news about Varys betraying her that she also really wants to put the blame also on Tyrion. And Tyrion, you could tell that you know oh my god, my own queen that I worship is losing her trust on me, and I gotta rack my brains, keep thinking of ways to gain that trust back in a matter of seconds, because because that trust is evaporating right in front of his eyes. Oh my god. um Oh, Visual says, "I swear this looked like a terrorist attack from the Middle East." We'll get to that. We'll get to the whole the dragon attacking King's Landing thing. But yeah, it starts out with like Tyrion, like, wow, hanging the dear life to regain the trust of Daenerys. And you know what? We see in today's episode that obviously Varys's judgment about Jon Snow, that he would rule wisely and well compared to Daenerys Targaryen. It's realized, it comes true. Obviously, because man, Tyrion has this plan. He concocted this plan, and he told Jaime Lannister, "Hey, ring the bell. I will help you escape here. Ring the bell, and it's a sign of surrender. Nobody, or not nobody, thousands of innocent lives don't have to needlessly die." And you know what? I gotta say, that moment when Tyrion said to Jaime, "Hey, you're the only one who never treated me like a monster. I survived as a kid, as a dwarf kid, because of you." Man, that got me right here, bro. That got me. And I'm glad that the writers addressed that in this final season, because that is correct. Um, Throughout these 7 seasons, the past 7 seasons, we've seen, when it comes to Tyrion and Jaime, their relationship, um, complicated. Doesn't begin to describe it, especially when Jaime has romantic love for his sister Cersei, and Cersei, you know, you know what's feels on. She often more despises him, than reveres him. Whereas Jaime and Tyrion is complicated. Sometimes they um, are on opposite sides, but you can tell that Jamie deep down has affinity for Tyrion, and Tyrion, of course, has his own way of throughout the seven seasons of like showing it as well. And finally, I'm glad the writers address it in this episode, like how Tyrion, how much Tyrion has love for his brother, how Tyrion really loves his brother Jamie, and yeah, that was a heartwarming scene, man. And you got to give credit where credit is due. Tyrion, for all his imperfection, the fact that he really genuinely cares for the thousands of innocent lives in King's Landing, that says a lot, about his character. That speaks about his character. Um, I can't say the same about Daenerys, obviously. You know what transpires in this episode. Um, so Jamie tries to get up to the bell tower, and then okay, I must say that the way the Queen Dragon dodged those spears in tonight's episode was fantastic. And man, the dragon moved much more swiftly this time around. I mean, like, wow. Um, like it's as if that it can sense whenever the spear is flying through the air to him. Like, wow, he could just dodge it just like, and it obliterated the fleet, Euron's fleet, and it obliterated the entrance. That was a great surprise attack. I myself did not see that coming. That was fantastic. It was so explosive, literally, and man, great sequence right there when the dragon was just like burning the King's Landing army and the spears and the top of the fortress. Oh man, holy crap! What a visually spectacular scene right there, man. Holy crap. So yeah, the bell got rung by Jamie. Jamie rung the bell, and guess what happened? Freaking Daenerys, man. Freaking Daenerys. See, in the process of defeating a tyrant, Daenerys herself turns into a tyrant. That's what's tragic about this whole thing. And the moment early on when she told John, like, the people of Westeros love you more than they do me, something along that line. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Um, I did not know that is how insecure Daenerys is. Man, Daenerys was so insecure. She feared, no matter how many times Jon Snow told her, I'm not going to betray you. You're my queen. I'm loyal to you. I'm faithful to you. It doesn't matter. Daenerys will still have that in the back of her head, the fact that, oh my God, people love you more than they'll do me. That is insecurity 101 right there. And I didn't know that she had it that bad. Holy crap. And that moment, right after the bell got rung, did you see her face? Because Amelia Clark is fantastic at this, man. Wow. It starts from like an expression of kind of relief, like realization. Oh my God, I won. I won. The city surrendered. It changed just like that in split second into like, I don't know, this insecurity kicks in again. Like try somebody like a sign or a face of somebody that's trying to prove herself. I don't know to whom she's trying to prove it to. And I think it's also compounded with the fact that she witnessed Miss Sunday got beheaded, um, and that insecurity and anger and all just kind of mixed up into this cocktail of toxic emotion. And man, she just charged. Woo! She and her dragon just charged and just burned everything in their sight. Holy smokes! Yeah, that felt, I mean, not felt, that looked like like a massive attack, a terror attack. Debris and dust and fire and dude, I really need to see the behind the scenes featurette for this episode because I want to know how they film all those sequences. You know, the fire going through the hallway, going through the street, the roads, burning everybody in there. Wow. I mean, I'm watching it and I mean, I feel hot. Like I feel like I can feel getting like I'm in it. Like I mean, I can get burned by it. It's just it was that immersive. It was that close, man. Holy crap. So great job to the filmmakers of this episode. Fantastic, fantastic. Daenerys fucked up. Daenerys fucked up real bad. Man, I told you last time, right? I told you that it's gonna come down to Jon Snow, Sansa, and Daenerys. It's gonna come down to that, and of course, Jon Snow and Sansa will be on the same side. Um, and it's gonna be over the fact of Daenerys feels that Jon is a threat. So that's what's gonna go down in episode 6 next week. Now, real quick, before I end this review, let's give a few thoughts about the Hound and Cersei. Jamie versus Euron Greyjoy, and then the Hound versus the Mountain. Tonight was the night of epic duels. Um, I love how Euron Greyjoy versus Jamie Lannister turned out. I hated Euron Greyjoy. Euron Greyjoy is a dick. I'm glad that I'm glad that he's gone. Um, and obviously, though, from the end of this episode, even though Euron Greyjoy claims or proclaims, I am the killer of Jamie Lannister, or like, I'm the one who caused Lannister to die because he stabbed Jamie Lannister twice. Obviously, that's not what happened. Jamie Lannister died with Cersei in the rubbles. So, ha. Screw you, Euron Greyjoy. You don't even get that. Um, the Hound versus the Mountain. Wow, dude. I think at some point during that fight scene, you would think that that the Hound would be like, okay, I can't kill this son of a bitch. Maybe I should just run. Uh, but you gotta hand it to the Hound. Uh, he is, I mean, he was persistent. He did not give up. I think it's partly because he knew that he went into that duel knowing that he would not survive. So, man, he just gave that all, man, 110%. Even after like the Mountain was like pressing against the Hound's eye sockets, the same thing that happened to I forgot that guy's name, season 4, I believe. So even after that, man, the Hound's like, I'm gonna stab you some more, stab you in the head. And even after that, the Mountain still survives. So the Hound has to like pushes him off to the ledge and onto the fire. Wow. I gotta hand it. That was a great fight scene. That was a great fight scene. It was uneven because the Mountain is like twice as strong as the Hound. So it was not necessarily a fair fight, but the Hound gave his all. And I think we saw this coming. We knew that was gonna. Jamie versus Euron Greyjoy. I did not suspect that duel to happen, but the Hound versus the Mountain. I think a lot of us have theorized that was gonna, that was gonna take place, um, and it did not disappoint. The one thing that disappointed me the most, and I tweeted this, is the way in which Cersei died. In tonight's episode, I found it to be underwhelming. It was not satisfying. I know, argue saying, "Hey, but Rama, there's a little poetic justice to it because she died with Jamie, right? She died in Jamie's arms, together. because just like how it was from season one, they were together, they had sex, incest, so the fact that they died together, that it's like coming around, right? It's like comes full circle. Yeah, you can argue that, but would it not have been more satisfying if Cersei had died in the hands of Arya Stark? I don't know why the writers would not want to give us that. Like, come on, man, come on. Like, right after the Hound, because the Hound confronts Cersei, and then Cersei in the mountain. Remember on the steps, and then the Mountain wants to fight the Hound, but Cersei is like, no, 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 you gotta protect me, you gotta protect me. He's like, no, 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 I'm fighting the Hound. So Cersei walks by or walks past the Hound. I thought that after that, that Arya's gonna, stumble upon Cersei, unguarded, unprotected, because freaking the Hound is busy fighting the zombie mountain. I was like, okay, here it is, here it is. Arya is gonna find Cersei in the hallway somewhere, and she's gonna stick him with the pointy end. Um, but no, no, Cersei meets Jamie instead. Cersei met Jamie in the underground, and they died in the rubble. And I guess I guess I can take comfort in the fact that Cersei died wailing and crying and whining. It's like, even though she didn't die at the hand of Arya the way I wanted it to, but she like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. It's like, um, I can take comfort in that because many of her victims in the past over the years have cried to her, have begged to her, I don't want to die, have mercy on me. And guess what she did? She did not give mercy on them, and she killed them. So yeah, it's ironic, I guess, that she is one that, or she was the one that was wailing at the end. So I'll take comfort in that, I suppose. But still, man, boo! That was a weak ass death scene for Cersei. For such an for such an iconic villain like Cersei Lannister to get death by rubble or debris. I was like, really, really. We waited 7 or 8 seasons wanting or wishing for Cersei to get executed by somebody from the Stark family, right? Um, and the writers just did not give us that. Ah, I'm a little frustrated, like a little bit frustrated. And lastly, Arya, um, that whole thing, that whole sequence through the streets of the town. She at one point she tried to save that mother and the daughter. Um, I think her intention is well and all, but it was unwise. It was unwise. The fact of the matter is, nothing or no place or nowhere was safe at that given moment. Like, um, when she said to them, like, come with me, come with me. You can't stay here. You got to keep moving. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Um, if you stay, you died. If you move on the streets, you die too. I think it's by chance of luck that Arya actually survived. Otherwise, she would have toasted literally, just like the mother and that daughter. Um, so that was it was well intentioned on her part, but also quite unwise too. But because now the deaths of that mother and child, mother and daughter, those deaths are on her conscience. Um, I doubt that I doubt that she would be ridden by guilt for days on end. Um, but still, man, that was not really wise move on her part. I think. Man, it's a tough one though. It's a tough one. Um, man, Daenerys. Yeah, son of Prometheus is here. Goddamn, she lost her shit big time. Daenerys was Daenerys lost her cool. Daenerys lost her cool. Again, as I said, I think her insecurity, um, her rage over Missandei, her insecurity and fear that Jon Snow would be a threat to her, and all that, mix of cocktail of emotion. And dude, she could have just like right after the bell rung, she could have just like let go, and that's it. She's the victor, right? Oh, now everybody hates her. Now Jon Snow's gonna have to, set her straight somehow, because that's episode 6 for us. But it didn't have to come. It didn't have to come that way, man. He didn't have to be that way. Freaking Danny, man. Freaking Danny. Um, like she thought early on that Westeros loves Jon Snow more than they do her. Well, after this whole tyrant burning King's Landing to the ground thing, uh, that's not gonna help your cause, Danny. They're gonna love Jon Snow even more. You're not bringing them to your side. You're not bringing Westeros to your side. If you thought that they love Jon Snow already, they're gonna love him more now because you were being a dick basically. You went you went on asshole mode and burned everybody. It was like, what were you thinking, Danny? Um, Son of Prometheus says he wants to be loved so bad it's psychotic. That's right. It ate her alive, man. And Son of Prometheus, I think also one of the triggers also, not just in her blah, blah, not just her insecurity, but also she witnessed Miss Sunday beheaded last week. But also today's episode, another trigger was she tried to kiss Jon Snow, and Jon Snow rejected her. And all those triggers, man, just like it was a bad cocktail, man. It was a bad cocktail, and she did not um she did not keep her cool. She did not keep her cool. Oh man, freaking Danny. And you know what? Khaleesi or Danny was one of my favorite characters, man. Previous seasons. I'm like, I was rooting for her, just as much as I was rooting for Sansa and Jon Snow. She was supposed to be one of the good guys. But now she's a baddie, and we'll see. We'll see how next week goes down between Jon Snow and Daenerys, and of course with Sansa in the picture as well. Because Sansa does not like Daenerys, and would, and one last thing I forgot to mention that uh, Grey Worm, Missandei's boyfriend, he had no problem when Daenerys was burning the whole thing down. Like he was like, all right, even though the other guys were surrendering, even though the other guys were surrendering, once Danny starts burning, Grey Worm takes that as a sign, like, all right, it's killing time again. Grey Worm is still pissed off about Missandei, obviously. So, oh man, jeez, Daddy, what an incredible episode! God, we have one more incredible episode coming next week, and then it's gone. And then till the prequel, which I'm not really looking forward to. I'd rather have a season 9. But oh well. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below about tonight's episode. Oh, such tragic episode. It could have gone so differently. It could have gone in the favor of the good guys, but nonetheless, it was fiery, no pun intended, and explosive, no pun intended. Um, Son of Prometheus says he wanted power so much she didn't understand the cost of obtaining it. Exactly. And we discussed this last week too. More than often, those who do not want power are the ones that are worthy of said power. So, and obvious from tonight's episode that Dany or Daenerys is not worthy of the power or the Iron Throne. Such a shame. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Subscribe, press that like button, ring that bell, And if you can help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. Thanks, Son of Prometheus. Thanks, Pidzy1E, for chatting with me. And I'll see you next Sunday. Let's rock this. Yeah.